This somehow just got even crazier for this Milwaukee Brewers team after a major comeback win against the New York Mets to continue this winning streak and show the MLB that this Brewers team is the best team in the MLB. We need to break down this game, going over every single moment, every single player here in this game, and what this means going forward for the rest of the month here in this MLB season. We're going to be breaking it all down like I mentioned. Before we do jump into it though, I have two things to say. One, if you haven't already, be sure to hit the sub button. We noticed that just over 98% of you guys watching right now are not subscribed to the channel. We have so much Brewers news coming over this month, into the postseason, and also into the offseason. You will not want to miss it. We're going to have you daily uploads right here. So be sure to hit the sub button. And number two, this shirt is not orange. This is not a Mets shirt. This is more of a reddish pink, but in the camera, it's coming out as orange. I just wanted to say that as well. But we need to jump straight into this video because obviously this game was one that we know we didn't write off because we know who we're talking about. We're talking about the Milwaukee Brewers. But coming into this game and looking at where we kind of were, around that fourth inning mark when it just seemed like the Mets were going to walk away with this one, the Brewers said, no, that's not going to be the case. And when they're serving pancakes today, pocket pancakes, we can't lose this game. And as you see, the MLB saying it perfectly right here. Isaac Collins, walk-off home run, 9 straight Brewers wins. Something special is brewing in Milwaukee. And I just, the MLB admin put this to a T. There's something special brewing with this team from what we've seen over these past 9 wins, but also throughout this entire season. And as always, we're going to take a jump through the game here, take a look at this, because we need to really highlight some of these players, and especially some that, we haven't spoken about too much on the channel here, if at all, but we know that they've deserved props for such a long time now, and this is a very good reason to do so. But when you're taking a look at this, of course, just look at the first 5 innings for this Mets team. Going to 5 runs, Brewers get 3 down in the bottom of the 4th, 2 in the bottom of the 5th. But coming in here, they were starting this game off, really, really well. They were, you got to give credit where credit is due for a team that is the caliber of the New York Mets. The players they have, that seemed like that was their peak Mets team. But after that, the Brewers locked it down. We really saw them lock this game down. And DL Hall coming into this game, one guy I first want to give a shout out to, absolutely holding down the fort through the 6th, 7th, 8th, and also ultimately, before he came out, and we see a few other moves being made, not just in the pitching rotation, but as well coming into, some pinch hitters and pinch runners and whatnot. This team was built for this game. And, I feel like I've been kind of on a broken record saying that when you're looking at where this team has gone, what this team has been doing, they're doing exactly what they need to. And this is a Brewers game. And, I keep on saying that, but this is something that I have no words for, which is kind of crazy for someone's job is to talk about the Milwaukee Brewers. I have no words about this game once again after what we saw from Blake Perkins throwing the runner out at home. Now coming a walk-off home run here, of course, from Isaac Collins, Rookie of the Month. Give him Rookie of the Year already. Give it to him right now. He deserves it, but this team has been firing on all cylinders, and, I think going from here, we're going to see a lot of games just like this. Hopefully not so much close, because we saw some very good wins, like, blowout wins against the Nationals and even going against the Atlanta Braves, but we need to see more of this. And of course, the top performers, I like to pull this up here. William Contreras with 2 home runs, 3 for 4. Isaac Collins, of course, the walk-off homer in the bottom of the 9th. 3 for 5, with a double as well going into this, and DL Hall shutting it down for just under 4 innings. 4 strikeouts, 0 earned runs, 0 hits. He was a very, very underrated factor in this game, even though when you're coming into the bats here, they're going to catch the starlight of this game, but we cannot forget what DL Hall did in, this game in specific, but also what he's been doing throughout this season as well. But I wanted to pull up, not just the top performers here. I wanted to go into everybody in this lineup because you see Blake Perkins come out, ultimately putting Bryce Turang in there, coming into a pinch hitting role. Andrew Monasterio coming out for Sal Frelick as a pinch hitter. They moved Brandon Lockridge over. The amount of moves that were made in this game and seeing everybody still rolling as if it were, any other normal game is exactly what this Brewers team is going to need coming down to the stretch to October. And even when you're looking at your 9th hitter in Joey Ortiz, who once again had another phenomenal day. 2 hits, 4 at-bats, and, ultimately getting 3 RBIs, really tying this game up. He was a guy that, is going to continue. And if he if he continues to go at this pace where he is right now over the past couple weeks, we're going to see Joey Ortiz really come out of that slump which he was in before the MLB trade deadline. And this game was just something that, a lot of fans, obviously, are going to love. We love a Brewers win no matter what, but seeing games like this, seeing games where the team, not necessarily, like as I mentioned, not out of it, but certainly seeming like it could be that way, but if it was any team other than the Milwaukee Brewers. I might as well count them out, but we knew that this team was not going to be doing that, especially coming into a game where they're not necessarily needing a win, but coming into this and you want to get as many wins as possible before we head now to the Pirates, the Reds, and the Cubs. And those are not going to be easy matchups either, but we know that this Brewers team, continuing off this, they're going to make those games look easy, which is kind of crazy to say at this point already. And once again, I wanted to pull up right now what we're looking at, going over the starting pitching kind of past few days from Quinn Priester. And I mean, just coming into this, this game, not great. 4 innings and a 1 out in the 5th for 6 earned runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Not the greatest, but when you go and take a look at even the last 2 games, mainly against Atlanta, 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, 4 strikeouts. Then even against Chicago, only 5 and a third, or 5 and 2/3, excuse me. 8 hits, but still limited the runs and everything that you need there. So this game was really an anomaly. You cannot complain about that. And coming into this game, you can't expect everybody to be perfect, but this team, they're very close to seeming as so. And just going into this and coming into the next series at least, and of course, one more day off in the rest of this month. It's a very busy one, and wins like these save you guys from extra innings, save your guys for potential deep games coming down the stretch. And with everybody on the IL, you need to shut games out with some people that may need to be unlikely heroes, and that's what we've been seeing over this past, I don't even know when to go back to, but for so long for this Brewers team. And this was today's game. I just want to pull this up as well, the win probability. The Mets were nearly in the top of the 4th, nearly at 100% win probability. But you saw that slowly jump down back in the top of 8th, jump back up to around 75%, but to the top of the 9th, it came back down to 50-50, and then the Brewers took it in the bottom of the 9th. It is absurd that, seeing games like this day in and day out. You normally see these games once a month or so from some other teams, but the Brewers are making this a habit. They make these games just, they're already exciting for fans, but making these fans, expect something special. And we've been doing that all season. And I think that's why there's such this kind of special knack behind this Brewers team, behind these Brewers games over this past month, but going forward as well. We know we're going to see this and continue on to see this. And as I mentioned, Pirates, Reds, Cubs, big 5-game series against the Cubs. Pulling this up a lot, but going back and seeing these wins, seeing what this is kind of going to change for this Pirates team, for this Brewers team against the Pirates, against the Reds, against the Cubs, coming to the Giants, Diamondbacks again, and the Blue Jays. It's a tough month, but more and more after all of these games, I see more confidence in this team. I see, this team is having fun with it, and as Matt Arnold, as Pat Murphy have said, having this team come in here, not making any major changes, they were scrutinized at the deadline for it. They were right. They were absolutely right. This team don't need anything else. They could obviously use it. Every team could use something else. No team in this league is perfect. The closest to that is probably the Dodgers, due to their entire lineup. But they're not playing the way the Brewers are. It comes down to being more about the team rather than the names on the paper, the stats these guys have put up over the past years, the money teams are making. This Brewers team is on top of the MLB right now for a reason, and I think it's been pretty evident from going back to what the boys have said, Pat Murphy, Matt Arnold, to now. They've corrected and, they've shown everybody and proved everybody wrong about needing to get the best of the best at the MLB trade deadline, and what they got was absolutely perfect. But I do have one more thing before we finish this video off from Bob Nightingale here. He says the Brewers are unstoppable. They pull off another comeback sweep against the Mets, now have won 9 consecutive games. They're 73-44. No other team has won more than 68 games just yet, and even though that is only a 5-game difference, that is a astronomical amount when you're coming down to kind of take a look at these types of stats. So, of course, wanted to pull this up from Bob Nightingale, but I want to know what you guys think about this game as well. Obviously, missed yesterday's game, but another big win there. Now, coming into this one, seeing all this stuff, we have a lot more videos coming. Tomorrow, we have a very interesting video, potentially about his signing in free agency. So, if you do want to check that out, be sure to hit the sub button, hit the bell, know when I post, and we have a lot more coming, and you will not want to miss it, I promise you. But like I said, that's all I got. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.